All right, a call to order the infrastructure committee meeting. All three districts are present. Notice was properly posted this meeting on October 18th. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes.
Motion to approve. Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Recurring items, agenda item number 2, discussion possible action regarding ARPA projects, not limited to scope, funding, schedule, and incidentals. Stacy, do you have anything?
Now I'll defer to the
All right.
owner's rep.
No report. Item number 3, discussion possible action on TIF 2 and 2A budget. Stacy, do you have anything?
No changes.
No report. Item number 4, discussion possible action regarding capital improvements list. Stacy, do you have anything on that?
No changes.
Or departmental items, discussion possible action regarding owner's representative report on ARPA projects presented by William White. Welcome.
Morning. We'll start with the elevators. Currently, we're funding, I understand the money is being moved, we're funding the final elevator.
Yeah, there should be a lot of it on the BOCC Wednesday, and then I think we're one special budget board away from having all the money in the right place.
So that will clean up the contracts on the elevator. There has been some concern with the annex, the 6th elevator being a little bit out of schedule. We've received a proposal to accelerate that and make all the dates required by the ARPA funds. So we're reviewing that, but we do have a plan to meet all the dates and shouldn't have any problems with schedule. Court clerk, social distancing, 5th floor, those plans are out for bid. We have a pre-bid on Friday, pre-bid on Friday. The one item a little bit unique, we will provide the mechanical quote to the subcontractor or to the contractors, as United Mechanical has the majority of the work on the 5th floor with an existing contract. So we're reviewing their proposal to finish the 5th floor, and we will provide the mechanical subcontract to be included in the general contractors for scheduling and installation. So they're going to manage an existing contract as part of their scope. Okay. So it's currently scheduled to bid on November 13th.
Okay. Bill, what happens if this project ends up being over budget?
So currently, a few weeks ago, you all approved the ability to, under the FARS, Federal Acquisition, and CFR 200, at the discretion of the government, or in this case, the recipient, to be able to negotiate with the low 1 or 2 bidders and bring it back into budget. And we've done that successfully in other projects. And so it's unique to the county, but it's very much allowed under the federal acquisition.
Abatement's going to be completed this month.
It's right now we're looking at trying to get in this week, I believe.
Okay.
So our goal is to have the 5th floor open for the pre-construction, the pre-bid.
Oh, good. Friday.
Right.
What time's the pre-bid?
I'll have to check. I want to say it's in the morning.
Okay.
I apologize. I don't have that time right here. Clerk's books continues. Charles, we appreciate Thursday. You indicated we can begin asbestos abatement on November 11th. And so I don't really have a schedule update on the clerk's books or the annex front entering because they're redoing the schedule with that information. So it's a little bit different than what I've shown on this report.
You got 1st floor annex. The requirement for books to be moved is in March.
Right, but we didn't realize that we would be able to start abatement on November 11th. And with that information, that changes the schedule, and the contractor and us are going through that right now. So I can't give you an update on that.
Okay, you'll have it next week,
yeah.
Maybe?
Yes,
okay.
At this week, this Thursday, we should have at this meeting.
Oh, good. Okay, great. All right.
So, but they should begin in the next couple of weeks on the exterior.
Okay.
Drainage culvert, we're about 95% complete. We've gone through some QC with them. They should be complete by the end of the year. That's all.
See, I feel like you skipped annex security. Was there anything else?
That's the front. That's the front.
Yeah.
Entry. We're on schedule. They're going to start in 2 weeks. We're revising the schedule with the knowledge that we can begin on November 11th with the abatement.
Yeah, Department of Labor, that's been settled, correct?
Yes, all that's done.
Great, thank you.
Again, the drainage culverts should be end of December 2024. We should have that complete. And then behavioral health, we continue to review drawings and watch that process and progress with a January start date. Existing jail detention center HVAC, we're starting on the 7th floor. They're working through that currently, and we're making progress, and we'll have more updates as we get further into the project, but we're starting and going well. The loading dock is complete. The leveler is in. We are just waiting the final directions on the damaged door.
Yeah, so how will that be resolved? We're just looking for money to go ahead and repair it because we'd go back on the vendor, correct?
Yeah, we need a purchase order, 4,000 and some dollars. Nobody's willing to write that purchase order.
Okay.
I believe the entity that damaged the door is very amenable to paying. They just, they don't want to pay direct. They want to pay the county.
So who takes the lead on that?
The Board of County Commissioners owns the building.
Okay, all right.
Wait, put that on.
Cody, you got any insight? No, no's an acceptable answer. Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Motion to receive report. Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6, discussion with possible action on the an update on Citizens Oversight Advisory Board. Anything, Stacy?
They meet tomorrow.
Okay.
Hope you can all attend.
All right. Item number 7, discussion possible action entering into a contract with GH2 for courtroom build out. Keith, welcome.
Thank you. Recall it's been some time getting here, finding the funding, amending what we expected to be a contract. We asked the selected architect to give us a clear view as to what those costs might be. I understand that we have identified $2 million or so from what will be PBA bonds to fund that. Additionally, a little over $5 million from the September supplement when it's available to help fund that. We had a meeting with the interested parties, the judiciary, the court clerk, engineering, myself, and GH2, where we discussed a basic idea as to what the floor plan might look like. We're ready to ink a contract with GH2 based on their scope and fee, but I feel there is some question as to moving forward because there may have been scope creep that was unintended. I just wanted to bring that up today. If you're happy moving forward, we can sign a contract with GH2 to formally begin the work. If you want to revisit this, it would seem now would be the time to do so.
Well, this is strictly preliminary at this point and can be modified if necessary, correct?
We don't have a contract with GH2, and so if you want to alter the suggested basic floor plan at this time, now would be the time to do that.
Well, I think with you providing this to us, we all have this information on paper. I'm inclined to take a minute to look at it and maybe have suggested either approval of it as it sits or modifications maybe at our next meeting.
I hesitate to ask any more of GH2 without benefit of a contract. They've done a fantastic job for us thus far. They were generous in providing us with a real look at what those costs would be at JJC. And so I really wouldn't ask anything more of them at this point without some consideration in place.
You have lots of confidence in them, obviously, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody, all the parties in the room seemed happy with the way the information was traveling and what GH2 was talking about and able to do. I think certainly GH2 has a good understanding of what some of the domino effects will be when we start building that space out. So I feel good about that.
Stacy, do you have any comments that?
I was at the last meeting with the judiciary. They're very happy with the plan as it is.
Okay.
But, that'd be my only comment.
They were, the judiciary was caught by surprise a little bit when the explanation was made as to how long it would take in order to accomplish this, and whether or not those timelines, the construction timelines, would parallel and fit within the timelines where they expect to get their additional judges.
Mhm.
I saw Renee enter the room. She can maybe have some input here.
I don't know the question. I'm sorry, I was just a little late to this meeting. I didn't expect you to be on number 7 yet.
Oh, there's no question.
It's on the PBA too, so you're not late.
Just if there's any, you don't want to weigh in on that, we're discussing, about to finish up on the
I don't know what
proposed
the
courtrooms.
discussion's been. I didn't
JJC
say-
courtrooms and whether or not there was any scope creep that may have not been a part of the original thinking.
No, I think what we've discussed thus far, you did mention that, Keith, but we just got these documents to look at. Paul had brought up a question about, whether we could adjust stuff with the architect if we, think that there needs to be some adjustments made down the road. So our consideration here is giving us some time to take a look at these documents and address it at our next meeting with either a possible approval as it stands or suggestions to any modifications that any of the three offices might deem necessary.
I want to remember, I think that these things have all been approved. The funding mechanisms, the floor plans generally, the people weighing in were all, for the most part, in agreement here. And so if you want to move forward, the agenda item on the next BOCC would be to ink the contract as outlined by GH2, their scope and fees, and I believe it was some $500 and some thousand for their role in this.
Yeah. And
Renee, do you have anything to add, or Cody?
I was just gonna say, we got this today, the contract for us to take a look at. I think we need to, from what I've heard, and I don't disagree, have some time to take a look at this to make sure that we're comfortable with it. It's a big project. Want to make sure that there's not any holes here that we may be stepping into. I'm not anticipating that we are, but I think, giving us a little bit of time to take a look at this would be appropriate.
Has legal looked at it?
Not at this point.
So they would have to look at it before it could go to BOCC, as I understand it. So, yeah. The only thing I would say is we need to get this project started ASAP. I heard Keith say as I was running in here practically out of breath because I was doing another project, that we were a little shocked at how long it's going to take. That is what it is, and we know that. I will also say that my presiding judge has made very clear that the money we have is all we're going to have. So I don't understand the scope creep other than to say we are committed to making sure that we don't do anything that would cause us to have to come back for more money. So those are the two big things is we need it finished as soon as possible. We promise not to ask for more money. And Judge Ogden did say at that meeting, he is going to go ahead and ask for our 2 new judges from this legislative session. So they will likely be on board before this is finished.
Mhm.
So in order for them to have some place because we don't even have any more temporary space right now. We're going to have to be doing a lot of juggling. So just the sooner the better. And we'll be very happy. And thank you again for finding the funding. Truly appreciate that.
You bet.
Understand.
the-
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna mention on the funding, the bulk portion of that is the amount from general fund. And those dollars aren't gonna be available until next calendar year anyway, just due to cash flow. So, I mean, we can't move that into the project anyway at this particular point.
I think the timing works out. If you intended to use the $2 million or so to start the project with PBA bond funds, those funds are at the ready and GH2 could be engaged. Now, one thing I am a little embarrassed to admit, we were looking at the floor plan. We were looking at the other effects that a design might have on the rest of the building. One thing that was overlooked here was the additional parking necessary. That's such a simple thing, but we're talking about 90 people in 3 courtrooms. And if you go out there at any given time during the day, the parking lot is full most of the time. That additional number of people need to be accounted for, and I don't think we even talked about that or looked at that. I know GH2 didn't, but that's something that needs to be considered here.
That is one of the holes that I was talking about that we may be stepping into unintentionally by just moving straight forward. I think there needs to be some discussions on that, as well as an ability to look at the rest of this stuff to see if there's anything else similar to that that has not been considered already.
So we're not thinking about scrapping the plan. Are you thinking about scrapping the whole idea?
Renee,
I don't think that was
I don't
what
think that
said,
came
no.
out of anybody's mouth here.
The parking before we go forward. I mean, that's why I'm asking. You're not saying we're not going to move forward.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
I should have asked it better.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking. That you were not talking about scrapping it. You're just trying to find a way to get additional parking.
No, I'm saying we need to assess the entire situation to make sure that we don't move forward in a manner that you have a particular expectation, and then we wind up being in a situation to where you say, how in the world are we here when you should have anticipated that problem?
And something as simple as parking being overlooked, I'm sure there are other components here that we need to consider. So the more people looking at this, the more people in the room, I think we can avoid the situation where on a snowy, icy, or rainy day, we're asking people with families to park a block away and walk to their court dates there at JJC. So that would be a huge mistake.
Ballet.
But
Sorry, Paul. I know you were getting ready to say
Paul.
something.
No, I mean, I agree with everything you just said. I look at the, $7 million price tag, and then I look at the small print here and see that even design fees, furniture, fixtures, and equipment are not included in that. And now we're talking parking and some other things. Yeah, I do think we need to take a little bit closer look at it.
Any other discussion? I'll entertain a motion to approve his report.
So moved. No, go ahead. I'll second.
Go ahead.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I did.
All right. Item number 8, update regarding the first floor project. Marissa, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. We are moving right along. This morning, they're moving shelves from the north space over to the south space. When we updated the floor plan, we noticed that there were some shelves that were not going to fit on the south side, the north side, that needed to be moved to the south side. So that is taking place today. And then we will have another set of books moved tomorrow from north to south that will go onto those shelves. And then once the construction is complete, the same group will come back and they'll actually do it all in the same day. So that will be an interesting Tetris game, but it will all happen once the construction done. The construction is done on the north side. We do have bids out, so we should be wrapping that up pretty soon. When it comes to the painting the walls, the ceiling grid, items like that, we've about 4 or 5. I know there was another one today, so that should be wrapped up here this week so that we can get started. And then the lighting, I've been working with Keith and his team so that we can figure out how to get the best lighting into the space. Not just because we have to have lights, since we don't have any on the northwest side, but also to make sure that the lights that we do put in will allow for us to be able to see the books. Because if you walked in the space, you'll probably notice that a lot of the lights are directly over the shelves. So it kind of creates a shadow. So we're working to see what we can do to put lights basically in the aisles of that to create a better space to be able to see what you're looking at. So I appreciate Keith and Tim on all of that. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions for Marissa?
Not at this time.
All right. I'll entertain
thank you.
Thank you, Marissa.
Motion to receive report.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to receive report. All those in favor say aye. 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 All right, are there any citizens to speak? Any new business? It's come to my attention, we don't have a board chair for this committee. I'll open nominations right now for a chair for this committee.
We don't have an agenda item for that.
Oh, okay. Can't do it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think, we had talked about that last time. We'll need a specific agenda item for.
Okay. Can't do it under new business. All right.
No, it was known about prior to 24 hours
Okay.
in advance.
All right.
So
Any comments?
None.
Do you have any, Cody? None here. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are you ready? Okay. Paul, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, I call to order the Public Building Advisory Committee. The meeting was properly posted on October 18th. All 3 districts are present. First item is approval of the minutes from October 7th.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 I appear to be on the right agenda here, but I'm not getting the. There. No. No. Back out of the first. There you go.
All right, item number 2, discussion possible action regarding ARPA capital projects. Stacy, do you have anything here?
No.
All right. Item number 3, discussion possible action regarding reviewing floor plan for JJC and associated funding mechanisms. Keith, do you have anything to report here?
The question came up as to whether or not the contract with GH2 had gone before the district attorney, and Aaron had reassured us that it has. So we're set on go there.
All right. I'll move to receive that report.
Second.
Moving and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right. Item number 4, discussion possible action regarding entering into a contract with GH2. Renee?
Yes, pardon me, yes, had a frog in my throat. I would just like to ask, I know that there've been some things identified. Parking, obviously, got to take care of that. There may be some other issues. But as we are considering those other issues that need to be addressed, I would ask that you not defer and wait for those issues to be addressed to get started on this project and to enter this contract and to work on the design phase and do everything we can for the interior. There seems to be no reason not to simultaneously work on those. We are in a time crunch. We are getting new judges. It's already going to take longer than we thought. So it just seems to me to make reasonable sense to work on those two together and not hold one project up because we're waiting on the other. Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All right. Item number 5, discussion possible action regarding update from owner's representative. Welcome.
Good morning again. We'll start with emergency ops. We've received the bids. The bids are on budget. We're reviewing those currently. I believe that all the stakeholders will get definitely their base bid, and we're working through some alternates for emergency ops, and it appears to be going very well. Later this week, when we have the final numbers from our contractor, we're going to try to schedule a meeting with all the stakeholders and go through the options. Elevators, as discussed, are the same. And then ICB remodel, one additional item, the interior drawings are 100% complete. Those drawings are with the contractor and preparing to go out to bid. So we're going forward with a lot of stuff, and it's going pretty well right now.
Any questions?
None.
I'll move to receive report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Item number 6, discussion on possible action regarding update on investors' capital building exterior. Now report, I assume, Keith? Okay, item number 7, discussion of possible action regarding update on investors' capital building interior project. Keith, anything to report on the interior?
Now we're ready to go. We just need to act on those records that are in the basement. They need to go, and I'm not sure who takes the lead on that. I know there's $104,000 set aside to accomplish that.
The boxes have been ordered. It's a 3-week lead time. The boxes aren't here yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know more than I do.
Yeah.
Is that all for the court clerk records?
Yes.
Any other discussion?
No.
All right. Any citizens to speak? Any new business? Comments, Cody?
None.
Oh,
for
come
me.
on. Come on. Didn't your team win? All right. Paul? Any
Yeah,
comments?
No.
All right. None here. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll make the motion to adjourn and you second. All right. Someone
Got
will.
it.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye.